Start recording. Alright, so this is the cat clicker we had. Let's open with Web Server. We're supposed to have one cat here. Now let's add in another cat into it. Now let's add in another cat. Firstly, I need to grab the images of the second cat. So I'm going to go here, just save this image. Save images. I'm going to call it cat2. Cat2. So we have two cats. Cat and cat2. Two images. Alright. So we're gonna do it firstly in the stupid way, just adding things directly into the HTML, and then we're gonna start adding things from JavaScript. Right? Let's see how we do it in just directly adding things into HTML. So this is my first cat, the div and image. I'm gonna put that into a separate div. Right? I'm gonna put everything here for the first cat into a div. Just try to make it organized. Right? And I have another div for my second cat. I'm just gonna copy that, and we're gonna change some things. So we're gonna say for the image, gonna be cat2. Let me open this with Web Server so we can see it here. The image gonna be cat2, and alternate will be cat2. H1 click span, gonna give another ID. We're gonna call it click2. Alright, so right now if I click this one, it's gonna still work, but the second one we haven't do anything with it, so it won't do anything. So I have the cat and the image and the clicks. It's not gonna do anything. The first one is still gonna work because we haven't changed it at all. So let's go back to JavaScript to make the second one work. Alright. So what we're gonna do is basically just gonna repeat what we did in the morning. We're gonna repeat this whole process again. Right, let's copy this whole process, and after here, let's do it here. And we're gonna change the things here. This one is selected the first cat and doing something. The second one, we're gonna select the second cat doing something. All right. So previously we have selected the cat image by just currently select the image tag, because we only had one image, so we can just select the image tag. But right now, since we have two images, select the image tag is no longer a good idea. We better separate them into the different IDs. So for the first cat image, we're gonna give an ID to it. We're gonna call it cat1 image dash image, something like that. The second one, we're gonna call it ID equals to cat2 dash image, something like that. Give them different IDs. All right. Yep. So the first one is gonna select instead of image, it's gonna be cat1 dash image. It's still gonna work, maybe. Not. What? Oh, it's ID, so you need to add a hash key before it. Still not work. Oh, I see. Because of some conflict here, I'm gonna fix it later. So the second one will be cat2 image. So I'm gonna paste it here, cat2 image. And we're going to give it a different name. The first one is cat1. The second one is cat2. They cannot share the same name. They are different constants, different variables. All right. And the counter, we're going to have counter1 and counter2. This one is selected the ID click. This one is selected the ID click2. Let's click2. Call it click2 here. And this is click1. And click1 takes the content is equal to the counter1. And this one is counter1 plus plus, and click1 text, and this is cat1 the add event listener. This one still not work. Counter1, now it works. And the second one, so we're gonna add in 2 for everything. Click2, counter2, cat2, counter2, and click2 and counter2. All right. So right now it works. That's the straightforward way to make it work. We basically are repeating ourselves and doing the same thing again. So it seems like it's very easy to make a mistake. Like if you're missing a 2 here, or you mistakenly put a 1 here or put a 3 here, that thing's gonna break. All right. And also we're missing the cat name. We're gonna adding a name to it. So first one, like, for example, the first one, I'm gonna put the name of it. This first cat, we're gonna call it like, I don't know, Anna. First cat, the second cat, I'm gonna call it William. All right, don't tell him. So we have 2 cats with their name and their image and their number of clicks. So let's say this part over here, we actually it's gonna be harder if we want to change the name or in the future. For example, if I have 10 cats here, and I want to ask you, if your boss asks you, I want to change the 5th cat, change his name into something else, and you're gonna look counting. This is the first one, this is the 2nd one, and then the 3rd one, the 4th one. Oh, here's the 5th one. I'm looking for it and I change it. It's gonna be harder. And think about it, if I have 100 cats, I ask you to change the 50th one. You're gonna count which one is the 50th one. That's gonna be annoying. So the better way is we put those text in the JavaScript, and then we show those variables content in the HTML. We'll do that way. It's going to be easier to change it. Let me show you how to do it. So, for example, for each cat, I can make it as a variable. For example, constant. Let me comment this. Let's comment these things out for now. I'm going to use them later. Right? And for instance here, we're going to have a constant cat1. That is the object cat. It has a name, and it has a picture, which is what is that? It is a cat. What is that? It's cat.jpg, right? That's a cat. That's picture, and it also has a number of clicks, right? Clicks. It starts from 0. That is my first cat, and I have my second cat, cat2. It has a name, William, has picture, it's a cat2.jpg, and the clicks is 0. So we have created a cat as object, and this is what we call it object-oriented design. We design things as object. We treat everything as object. Cat is object here. Each cat is going to have a name, has a picture, have number of clicks. Those are things we need for each cat. And right now, instead of showing those things like stupidly here, we are going to grab the value from JavaScript. For example, so we're going to remove the Anna here, remove the source here, or we're gonna keep the ID. We're gonna keep the ID, and yeah, just keep the ID here. That's gonna be enough. With ID, we'll be able to select it. Actually, we can just get rid of everything, right? Just get rid of everything. Just leave one div here, 2 div here. The div here have a class, not class ID. That is cat1, cat-1. The second div is ID, cat-2. Those are 2 places I'm going to put my cat in. Think about the bookmarkers. We're going to dynamically put the bookmarker inside it, or dynamically put the unit converter inside it. Right now, we're going to dynamically adding that cat into it. So this right now they're just empty div. Don't have anything inside it. I'm going to add a content into it. All right. So I have my 2 cats here. So we're going to do it one by one. So for the first div, let's select it first. So we're going to say constant cat1. That is we can use not use cat1. We already have a cat1 here. So we're going to say cat1 container. That's going to make sense. We use it's fine to use a longer name, but the name needs to make sense. Make easier for you to understand in the future. Otherwise, you're going to forget what this variable is for. So with an understandable name, you do not even need to have comments, because the name itself makes sense by itself. Document, the query selector. You can use document by ID, but I don't see the reason to use that, because query selector just works for everything. ID, cat1. Alright, this selects the cat1's ID, which is going to be this part. And let's also get in the second part. Constant cat2 container. Document the query selector. Select ID cat-2. Right, we selected 2 input fields, and now we can adding stuff into it. We're going to add in its name, its picture, and its number of clicks. right? So let's create them one by one. So let's actually and cat names. So for example, we're gonna say let's create two names. Constant cat1 name is going to, we're gonna create an h1 here, and adding the cat1's name inside it. So it's gonna be document the create element. Is that how we do it? I forget. Create element, create h1, and cat1 name dot text content is equals to cat1 dot name. Right. See, like we're trying. It seems like we're trying to do some extra works, but the benefit, like in the future, I can just directly change this name here, and this is gonna be automatically changed with it. Right. So we're adding a cat names here. And we're also going to add it for the cat2. So cat2's name is equal to the same thing. And cat2 name dot text content is equal to cat2 dot name. Right, so we have the name seated. And also we can add them to its own container. So we can see for the first one, I can say cat1 container the append child. Append child. I want to append this cat1 name. Why it's not working? It's showing here. Yeah, it is recorded. William is not defined. What? Oh, it should be a string here. Here we go. The Anna is showing. And also we're going to add in the cat2 container, append the child, append the cat2's name into it. Alright, so two cats' names are here. And right now, if I just want to change the cat, I just go ahead and change it here. So Anna, I can change it to something like Bobby. It's just going to change it. And I change this one again to Cliff. It's going to change it. So I do not have to touch those code anymore. Every time I want to change the image, I'm just gonna touch this. Change the cat name, touch that. So just only thing I need to change is just object itself. Right, make it easier to maintain in the future. Right, so that's a name. Let's keep going for the image. Right, for the image. And image and cat image. Let's do constant cat1 image is equal to document the create element. We'll create the image tag, right? img. And for this one, I'm gonna do cat1 image. I think I can use set attribute to adding the source attribute into it. It's called set attribute, and it's gonna give you some hint here. Set attribute, it takes a quantified name string and the value we need. So the name of that is source, and the value we need it to be is cat1.image. Right, cat1. What is that? Cat1.picture. Right, sorry, cat1.picture. Right, let's make this bigger so you can see it. And that is for the cat1 source. We also need an alternative. That's gonna make sure if the image is broken, it's gonna show something. So we're gonna copy and paste it here. Say for alternative, if that's not able to show, we'll just say this is a picture of cats. So some alternative if the image is broken. And then let's append that into the cat1 container. So cat1 container, the append child. We're gonna append the cat1 image into it. So cat1 image is inside. Right now, if I want to change the image, I just change it here. So for example, I want to change it to cat2, it just changes. Right, cat1 is broken, which is going to show this is a picture of cat. A cat is going to be the picture. Alright, so it's easier to maintain. And whenever you need a name, just call cat1 name. Whenever you need a picture, just say cat1 picture. And once you change it here, all the cat names is going to be changed in the screen, and all the cat one's picture are going to change in the screen, because they all refer to the same attribute here. So we just need to change it once for everything. All right, that's the best practice. And let's do it again for the second cat. So we're just going to copy this whole thing and change the cat1 to cat2 image, cat2 image, set attribute, cat2 attribute container, as cat2 image, and source equal to cat2 the picture. So here we go, the second one. So this is also easy to make a mistake, but once you make it work, you do not have to touch it anymore. You never need to change it. Or if you change the name, just touch the string in the object. Those things never need to be changed anymore. Right? So that is for the image. And don't forget, we need to add even listener to it. We need to add even listener to it. So before adding even listener, let's adding a counter to it right now. Let's first adding a counter, then we're adding even listener. So and counter and cat counters, images, counters, names. All right, cat counters. So we're gonna do two counters. The first one, constant. Let's see how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with h1 constant, cat1 counter. Just any name you like. Just I think cat1 counter is already makes sense. Document the create element. We're gonna getting h1. All right, we're using h1 here. And for this h1, we're going to using inner HTML. We're not gonna, because we're gonna have some variables inside it. Let me show you how we're gonna do it. So we're gonna do let's see, cat1 counter, another container counter. The inner HTML is equals to let's see, in the h1 we're gonna have backticks, clicks is equal to span, and inside the span we're gonna have a variable here. This variable is $cat1 counter. Right, is that called counter? Clicks. Number one, cat1 clicks. This is how we can do it. It's gonna semicolon here. So in HTML is equal to, no, this is the whole thing in its inner HTML. It contains the clicks and then have a span. And inside span it has a cat click once clicks. Maybe I do not need to do that. Since that's already a variable, I can just change that variable. I do not need a span here. I can just say, I can use text content, sorry. I can use text content and get rid of the span. I don't think I need a span anymore, because that's already a variable. I can just touch it like that. That's easier. Clicks is cat1's click, and it's adding that one to the first cat. So it's going to be again cat1 container the append child, and adding that cat1 counter into it. I'm going to show you here. Clicks 0. The cat1, this cat1 clicks is just this variables here is 0. All right. I'm going to do the same thing for the second cat. So we're going to copy that one, and let's call it cat2 counter. And again, it's h1, and the cat2 content text content is equal to cat2 the clicks, and cat2's container append the cat2 counter. Right, so they have both of them have counter right now. Right, leaves and so the content is ready. Right now we need to add even listener to it to make it work. Right, so we need to add even listener to it to make it work. Let's do this. So and event listener and cat image event listener. Listeners. Alright. And we're gonna, for the first cat, it has a cat1 image, right? Cat1 image. I'm gonna say cat1 image to add event listener. And let's see. Right, we're just gonna. It's okay. So we're gonna every time one click it, so it's gonna click event. Every time one click it, what I want to do here is for the error function, we're gonna say every time we click a cat1, we need to do a cat 1 dot clicks plus plus. Right, so every time we click it, it's gonna pass a cat1's click, and then we're gonna refresh this one. So we're gonna redo the cat1 click the text content. Equal to that. I'm gonna redo this. Yeah, it works. I'm gonna say the cat1's counter text content is equal to the current clicks. Right, every time I click, it's gonna refresh it equal to the current click. And second one is still 0, won't change. And if I click second one, it won't influence the first one. And we're gonna add an event listener to the second cat. Gonna copy this one. Cat2 image, add event listener. When I click the cat2 image, it increases the click for cat2. And cat2 container is equal to the cat2's clicks. Right, so right now it works. So that's it. Right, so it works. So instead of having the things in the HTML, we have everything in the container and construct the whole thing by ourselves with JavaScript. Here is where we adding the names. Well, we select the two containers, adding the cat names, adding the cat images, adding the cat counters, and then finally adding the two event listener to it. Alright, so this is better than we just directly adding as in HTML. So right now, if I want to change the first cat name, and I do not need to go there looking for where is the first cat name, just go here to change the first one. I'm gonna call it Andy. It's gonna be Andy. And the first one I want to start a counter from 200. You can start from 200. Or I can start from -100. That's all works. And I can also change the image of a cat, just directly change it here. I do not even touch the rest of the code or HTML. Only thing it changes is just these two objects. Alright, so I think that's good enough for now, and I'll put the videos on YouTube, and let's keep going on the lecture. Alright.